Scar cover up. So what can be done? Can it be done? What exactly can be done? On which scars? How long it needs to heal? And we have all sorts of questions in our heads when we first start. And I also had these questions when I first started. And I would say in my 10 years of experience, I've tattooed pretty much every single scar you can think of, starting from stretch marks to stretch marks from being pregnant, stretch marks from overweight, scars from dropping the weight, scars from operations, scars from cuts, suicidal cuts, then basically not like suicidal, but self-harming when they know they're not gonna die, but they still like do a lot of cuts. I've done them, covered them, and reworked them. I have a client who doesn't have one leg, so we are working on that one. So it's gonna, you know what I mean? It's a scar, but it's not a scar really. I've done blue veins when it's Vancouver vein, so it's like a scar tissue to the skin. It's not really skin. It's not really healthy skin. Well, it is a skin, but it's not really as mint as we would like to have. And yeah, I've done all sorts of stuff, and I would say they all workable. Each one of them. You just need the only thing you don't touch is a keloid scar. Keloid scar is a scar what continues to scar itself and grow bigger. Wider, it's bumpy, and the bump still grows, gets bigger and bigger, 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 bigger. So you don't touch that one because you're just gonna make it bigger. So you don't wanna encourage keloid scar to grow bigger as it is. So leave it. Don't touch it. Any other ones? Yeah, I would say easy. Once stretch marks have settled, you can go over them. Once suicide scars have changed from like reddish color to really white and pale and skin color, doable. You can cover them up. Same like self-harming scars when they do loads of like arms or legs or thighs. Once they get to a point where they're workable, you can just work on it. And yeah, I've done a lot of those. And I would encourage for you to encourage your clients to do it, because that is like a massive recovery from them, where even though maybe they're not in the path already, maybe they were in a path where they wanted to like self-harm, but now they're off. That is still a reminder. Those scars are still something what people will still label them as being a part of, even though if they not, even though that was maybe 15, 20, and 50 years ago, the people still, society will look on those as them and classify. So I would probably encourage you to, if you're a tattoo artist watching this, encourage to like get more people in so you cover them up, so you kind of help the society get better. Then when it comes to like stretch marks, I would say once they kind of have healed, and I would probably say the best is to get to the point where it's not about the scarring, it's about how much the body will shrink, or how much the stomach will go back in. And I would say when it hits the point where it doesn't really go back in, then do a tattoo. You don't want to do a tattoo where it's like on the pre-stage and then you do it, then it shrinks down, it changes the look. Even though it does the cover-up maybe, or blends or masks the scar tissue, it will change your tattoo appearance. So wait till it settles, or if your client, just wait till it drops down to the point where it doesn't go back in, and then have a tattoo. And that's it. What else? It's pretty easy. Like you're gonna feel, if you're a client, you will feel more. You can feel more, you can feel less, or you can feel the same. But mostly it happens more because the skin tissue is a scar tissue. Scar tissue is where your body had to rebuild, and the nerve endings are more exposed, so you can feel more pain, you can feel more bruising and more burning sensation. So when you are the tattoo artist, you go over stuff like that, I would encourage to be really nice and gentle and chill. I've done all sorts of stuff, and the same when it goes for Vancouver. If I'm wrong, just let me know. but those blue and purple veins what appears in her legs, and they go quite big and quite out in your face. And same with those, you go really nice, gentle, and nice and chill. You don't want to go with a sharp needle to cut more into the skin. When people come to me with that kind of issue, I would probably go nice and chill. So what we do mostly is when a person comes in and they have that issue, I do like 2 3 hour session first with a really soft needle. So whatever the subject matter is. For example, when I was tattooing Vicky, shout out to you if you're watching. When I was tattooing Vicky, then we did like 3 hour sessions at first at the beginning, and then we were judging how far it goes, how quick she heals, does she heal, how big is the swelling, if is there any swelling, and it was easier to tell afterwards, was it or was it not doable for her, because when she first came in she was worried, and I was worried that she was worried, and I've done it before, so I knew that I can do it and I can make it happen and it's gonna be quite nice for her. But she was worried that it's gonna go bigger for her, in a sense of like that problem can become a big problem, and so I had to like calm her down. And yeah, scar tissue is it's not really a problem. It's something where you need to be patient. It can grow bigger if you treat it bigger. You can make scars into bigger scars. You can blow them up. But overall, scar is just a damaged skin. So if it heals, and when it heals, if you go over when it's ready, and if you treat nice and gentle, it'll stay. Like, it will take the ink in and it'll stay. You need to be more careful about how you make your clients feel, how they feel. You need to watch them a little bit more. You need to pay attention how they breathe, do they breathe, and how they behave during the session. Maybe get some sweets right next to you, or some drinks where it pumps up the sugar levels quite a lot, because it is like they had a trauma once, and it's the memory of what's still in there and still whispering them, and they went through a trauma to get the scar, and now you're going over the scar with another trauma, so it's like a double pressure. And maybe mentally it's not really, no, maybe not physically is, maybe physically it's not that bad, but the mental game is quite big. And then they feel like embarrassment. Maybe when they come in, they feel like you're gonna say something, you're gonna judge them, you're gonna ask questions they don't want you to ask. Maybe they feel pressured, and like when it comes to scars, mostly it's the mental scar. What people possess and people what they have inside is a bigger scar than the actual scar on skin, because skin is just skin, but there's a scar in the personality, and scars in memories, and scars in personal looks and self-esteems, and I would say when we tattoo those, well, basically when we tattoo skin, we put a patch over the mental scar, and we seal that, and we give them back the freedom, or give them back the personality they used to have, and they can walk out smiling, they can be happy, and they can be back to as the person they was. And I would say that's the most accomplished. Now, what's the word? Most satisfying, or when it makes you happy that you do your job really nice. Like that's the feeling it gives you. At the beginning, it's a worry because you don't know if you're gonna help the person or you're not gonna help the person, or how do you help the person, or how much you're gonna help it. But once you get there and you're both on the other side of the story, then it's a really rewarding feeling when you can give like that person back. And if the person had like complexes, you cut that on half, where you destroyed like totally. Had a woman lady, and I don't want to say her name, but she was paranoid to just show me like half the sleeve she had some bad writing, and she was really really nervous of exposing that much skin. It's literally from here to here, but she was like panicking that she had to expose the skin. And the more tattoos we had, the more she felt like you can't see her, you see a tattoo first. So this tattoo becomes like a barrier, or like a shield that holds, well, it's in front of her. So you cannot see her, you see a tattoo first. So it's like I don't know, blanket wrapped around her. and then she had like half a sleeve, then a full sleeve, then we jumped on shoulder, then we went from the shoulder to shoulder blades to mid back to bum, then right leg, left leg. We have done a lot of tattoos on her, and it's literally a different person. So even though she didn't really have a scar, but the mental scar she had, or the self-esteem scar, or overweight scar that she was feeling overweight, then she came back to normal, and it's the patch we cover, and I would say that is still a scar cover up because even though you can't see that scar, it's in there, and not always every scar is visible to a human eye. Like I have scars that you don't even know I have. I have one in my head. You will never know. And it's the mental scars that we still kind of patch or cover or fix or you know what I mean. So yeah, it's quite a rewarding job, like fixing people, helping them, and hoping that they're gonna help you one day by pressing subscribe, like for example, or giving a like or comment, and you know what I mean. Like you give something to society, and we just as artists we always hope someone's gonna do something nice for us. Mostly never happens. Mostly they don't want to press a like. We fix like mental issues for them, and we fix complexes, and we fix loads of stuff, but they want to give back us like bare minimum. They probably assume we have all. They probably assume we have life sorted, that we are like the God's chosen ones, that were we born with holding the tattoo machine in our hand already, and we knew what to do and how to do and how precise to be, and all these endless hours that we sit down and like practice and master the craft. That's just like a dream. It never happened. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see far in a distance because I've trained my eyes to see really close, and yeah, it never happened. Like it's cool. Yeah, that's like the side, our side of the story. But when it comes to scars, as a client, be careful. And I would say, as a client, try to find somebody who either have done scars before or who is naturally soft-handed person, where you can see the work is like soft, light, gray, nice shading, nice gradation. Someone who's not rough, someone who's not evil. Some people just naturally butchers. They literally are. They like just to pull a line. They drop machine in your skin like an anchor, and they drop in and just pull. Whatever happens, happens. So you gotta be careful of those people. You don't wanna have that person going over your scar because you can make your scar tissue a bigger scar tissue. Then, if you are a tattoo artist, literally what I just said, like be nice, be gentle, do the scar, watch what happens to the scar. Does it evolve? Does it get bigger? Does it get sore? And then back off, maybe split the sessions on half. You can only do half and then that mixed together. There is no need to go for you to go in full in and like blast 6 7 hours of pain, not knowing what's gonna be the outcome or the consequences. Split that, watch what happens, and then sometimes what I do, for example, is if I know it's a big session and it's gonna be multiple sessions, I book in a small one first, see how the client behaves, and the client will know how the client will behave. So the person have insights of himself or of herself, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna feel, and it's easier that way. So that would be my go-to. Just treat like a baby skin. It is a baby skin. It's just newly or freshly built, and that skin has never been really pushed or abused. The skin had no reason to build it bigger or thicker, or you know what I mean. Like the skin gets thicker and bolder as we grow and as we bump into stuff, and the skin feels like requirement to make it bigger, make it involve thicker to protect you more. So scar tissue is just made freshly on you. So yeah, be careful. So this is my experience with my scar stories, and I've done loads, but I've not done that many. So I can say that I have experience, but I'm not master in scars. So if there's a person who can say more or who has more medical information about it, that's cool. But it's just me. I'm just in for 10 years, and I would say every year I come across somebody who has a scar, or I'm working around the scar, covering a scar, reworking a scar, or just not really good skin tissue. And I would probably call that a scar as well. Even maybe it's not like a fully ended into a scar. I think it's going into a scar, or it will happen eventually into scarring, some sort of. So I would still class that as a scar. So yeah, I'm Ziggy. Thank you for watching, and I hope you did learn something. This is my experience, my stories, and my side of the building. So thank you very much. And if you like what you see, press subscribe because there's more videos coming. I have this microphone, I can speak, you can hear me, which is beautiful, and we can meet more often. Thank you very much.